it's very practical, and it's very powerful. I was amazed, and that is not during the session, because I was too much involved in the session. I was like, "Ooh, what's it?" But when I came home, I was like, oh. And as I told you, I use it already unconscious.
The biggest transformation for me was like, okay, hey, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing, and it's worth to get it out in the world. If I would say it in short, I would say it's a really way in which you have a lot of fun. And so that's very nice. That's not the purpose, but it's nice that it's fun. I mean, you can enjoy it. And then in the things you do, for me, connection is really the key issue. Connection between people, connection with yourself, and that at the same times. And that's, for me, I think, the key issue. That is really connection. And then there's so much more possible. If you then want to develop things, or make new things possible, or challenge difficulties or whatever, I think if there's really the connection between you and yourself and you and the other people, then there's so much possible. I think people feel more safe, so they dare to take more risks, dare to be more creative, dare to work more together. I think that's important. Of course, there's a difference between becoming a practitioner or following sessions like these.
And experience it, yeah.
And experiencing these sessions can be good for everyone, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And to become a practitioner?
Yeah, then that could also be everybody, but I think then you need to have a little bit of a drive of changing something in people. A lot of exercises are already new, so it's a bit difficult to say how that would be to watch that videos if I hadn't experienced the exercises. Mm-hmm. But especially the videos about the background of the whole program and of the exercises themselves, that for me was very helpful. That because I know the exercise, that's for me no issue to do a certain exercise. But the background and what it's actually doing and what you can unlock in people with a certain exercise, that was very good to hear that on those videos, and to be yeah, of course you can see it in that way or in that way, or you can the way you brief or debrief the exercises, that's very helpful. Yeah, the frame is for me clear. So it gives me maybe also a bit certainty what I'm working with. And so, but it's the frame that helps me, and I always need that a little bit, so I can make more easy connections with things that I'm doing, and then maybe not only the exercises we did in the training, but other exercises I know I can integrate, and so that the frame really helps me. And yeah, what I already said to you, it's that you, Jessica, is also important in the training, and that's difficult to make concrete, but but you have kind of energy that for me it gets me in action, so that's very nice. Yeah, the positive energy is for me was really very nice and good, and I have so in my really this structure in my head, like, okay, this human energy, this openness to connect, and then these shared values, and that's really, really helpful.
Once I've experienced the H.O.S.T to transform with the tools and everything, it's something that could be grasped and actually translated in any kind of context that you would like. So you could use it in a social environment, you could use it in a business environment, you could use it in, if I may say, actually any kind of environment, also within education.
People should join these sessions just to get a new, refreshed look into working together. Not only as individuals joining a session, meeting new people, but also as teams. I've had the chance to bring some teams here, work with them in one of the meeting rooms here, and then join a session of H.O.S.T to Transform. And you really notice that by mixing them with other people that they don't know, creating that energy, just their blinkers open and start moving out of their comfort zone and go home energized again.
I do feel it's not a set format, as in the first session was very different to the second session, for instance, and I think people will find their own patterns which are relevant to the specific context of which they're in. Probably the energize is a bit longer, probably the introduction, as in the one-to-one meetings are a bit longer, whatever it is, and I think it also can preface events. It doesn't necessarily just have to be a context-specific thing where it's co-working spaces and or people working together. I want our event manager to be trained in it, because before events where there are strangers at one event, I want the session like this. It doesn't necessarily have to be 15 minutes or 20 minutes, it can be a 10-minute energizer.
We do not have any rules and regulations that you're not supposed to do this or that. It's just like a very open space. It's your space. Utilize it and exploit it, and love it, but at the same point of time. So when your framework came in place, it just synchronized in such a beautiful manner that I feel like it's a part of everything when we are trying to do any community events or talks or just happy hours, or it's just even lunch sessions. I can see the whole framework taking place and doing its part beautifully.
It is about hosting, the safety, welcoming people, that they are allowed to be themselves, and that's very important for me. But I also lacked some hands-on how to create this environment in a larger setting. One-on-one is no problem, or few. But if you have 10, 20, 30, then it's more difficult. So that's why I thought, okay, maybe it's H.O.S.T toolkit that I can get information or experiences that I can implement. Also what I see in the co-creation sessions now, there's more mental, like brainstorms and post-its and things like that. And I felt, and I get also feedback from people who are creative, I don't feel it. So engaging with your body and everything, energizing, and also the openness and shared resources that everybody can contribute to something, even if it is a network connection or whatever. That is something that we lack at this moment in our brainstorm sessions. So we can more balance it out by putting these things in.
En voor mij geeft mij nu op dit moment heel veel houvast om ervoor te zorgen dat de deelnemers voor de bijeenkomst, dus echt voor het zitten en het beginnen van de lessen die ik geef, dat ze hun mind kunnen openstellen, dat ze vertrouwen voelen in de groep, dat ze elkaar beter leren kennen en vanuit daar weer verder kunnen gaan. Dus eigenlijk, ik heb er waanzinnig veel aan gehad. Ik had het zelf niet verwacht, want ik ben best wel een digibeet. Dus ik dacht, hoe ga ik een training volgen en hoe gaat dit goed op mij overkomen? Maar meteen direct. De video's zijn heel pakkend. Hele goede introducties zijn het ook, van Jessica zelf. Waardoor je de oefening direct begrijpt en ook weet waarom het is. Dat is ook heel fijn. Dus dat waren mijn ervaringen met H.O.S.T Transform digitaal. Om die training te volgen met Practitioner. En echt, aanrader. Zeker. Het heeft een hele grote toevoeging aan mijn project. Dus daarvoor wil ik Jessica ook bedanken. Dank u.
Ik vond het dus nu heel leuk dat iedereen door elkaar heen liep. Dus als je ik heb het eerder een keer meegemaakt met een kleiner groepje. En dan heb je veel meer interactie in een soort kringversie. En dan ben je ook even los van de normaalheid. Ja. Maar dat dus leuk is dat je zelfs dus met een hele grote groep allemaal door elkaar kan gaan lopen. En dat het dan ook heel goed werkt.
Ja.
Dat vond ik heel leuk.
Ja, en ik vond ook heel persoonlijk heel tof wat er dan toch weer uitkomt. Twee mensen die naast elkaar staan.
En die uit dezelfde school komen.
Hockey en weet ik veel wat, dat ze dat delen. Echt bizar. Ja. En websites en hele klantenkringen erbij.
Ja.
Nou,
en daar kom je dus anders gewoon überhaupt nooit achter.
Nee, dan kun je eeuwen naast elkaar werken, maar je hebt geen idee.
Ja, top. Dus heel leuk.
Yeah.